As the Lions begin another season with Super Bowl aspirations, many fans are wondering, what's the price of being the best?
The team's roster is finalized, but there are still some bills to be paid. Our Rachel Hotmeyer is getting answers.
What is the price to be the best? And how much is the Lions front office willing to pay for long-term success? Those are the questions we are getting answers to. Since 2021, the Detroit Lions have gone from a bottom 10 offense with a second to last ranked defense to being the top scorers in the NFL last year, paired with a top 10 defense. But this is year 5 under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell running the show. And with the Lions roster set to kick things off in Green Bay next week, there are bills to be paid.
It'll be tough. You know, I feel like every year it gets a little bit harder to decide what you want to do.
The Lions released both of their 2023 third-round picks this week, quarterback Hendon Hooker and defensive tackle Broderick Martin. As both of those projects come to an end, considerably falling short of expectations, the Lions organization may no longer have the bandwidth to develop talent from the ground up.
I think where we're at as a roster right now, you're just more cognizant of it. I think there's times and windows to strike here and there, but you know, you're more aware of it, as opposed to when we first started. We just had a lot more room for those guys and had a lot more time.
Detroit is still seeking their first Super Bowl appearance, but coming off of back-to-back playoff runs fueled by record-setting seasons, they don't just lose key figures on the field, but coaches and staff that help achieve this success are also poached.
That's something that we actually do look at quite a bit, and we try to prepare and have succession plans in place for. You know, it's not always widely advertised, but internally, that is something that you have to look at, and because you have to be prepared, especially when you start having success.
And of course, to retain talent, you have to pay talent. Aiden Hutchinson and Jamison Williams are both extension eligible, while Alex Anzalone, 4-time captain, widely considered the best coverage linebacker in the NFL, wanted to sign a new contract before entering the final year of his current deal.
I think that's part of it, is that we do have a lot of players that we're planning and we're trying to keep around, but also understand from Alex's standpoint too. You know, always said with Alex, you know, he's always been a good player, and so when you peak a little bit later than now, but you have all these other things going on, and it's hard to make the forecast sometimes.
General Manager Brad Holmes did confirm that talks have begun regarding an extension for Aiden Hutchinson. You may also have noticed that the Lions did not keep the maximum 53 players they could have on their roster, instead only keeping 50. That's because the standard that has been set to make this team under Brad Holmes, Assistant General Manager Ray Agnew, and Head Coach Dan Campbell has been raised as the price to win continues to climb. Coming up at 6, Richie Cozzolino will be breaking down what the front office thinks of the 2025 Detroit Lions final roster. From the Meyer Performance Center, Rachel Hotmeyer, CBS News Detroit Sports.